Hi, here we are for part 2. This is where we left off, talking about the fan vaults in the cathedral, and you can see that in the High Gothic period we go into these nice points and the fan vaulting. So this is High Gothic. This is the apse at the end. The crossing would be in here with the tower up at the top. You can see here's a person off to the side. It's really quite massive in scale. It's very impressive with how large some of these became. Here's an interesting side note is that this central area of the cathedral, the main body of the cathedral, is called the nave. And nave is Latin for ship or ship's hull. And it's both reminiscent of a ship in appearance, but it's also kind of symbolic of that the cathedral is sort of like the ship that's carrying you forward in the religion. Here is a drawing of a I believe this is Short, I think. You can see, again, we've got the crossing and the transept here with the apse at the end, so that would be facing east. And in this case, they just allowed the crossing to be the crossing, and they put spires at the end of the building. And we've got, windows up at the top. In the high Middle Ages, we get into more windows, more ornate stained glass work, and transepts with the windows. And when I talked about the buttresses, in the High Gothic period, they realized that they could, instead of just one really fat, thick buttress, that we could spread that pressure out. And so you could have a buttress supporting a buttress, and you could have some angle pieces helping to support that. And you could, instead of having a huge thick buttress attached to the building, you could have it away from the building with tall pieces connecting, and that becomes a flying buttress. So in this case, we have flying buttresses over here, and we'll look at some more flying buttresses in just a moment. Here we have, so here is the groin vaulting, where those intersections are taking place, and the pressure goes out. And so instead of one really thick buttress here, they've taken supports that go from the building to a buttress away from the building. And so this is known as flying buttresses. Here's an end view. You can see that we've got, we have pinnacles here at the end. And so this is a buttress here away from the building that is connected to the building by these flying buttresses here, which are designed to support these groin vaults. So those are the webs there, the ribs, and the diagonal ribs. And up here, this section is called the clerestory, with the tall windows, and then this would be the nave down here. Sorry, I think I paused there. So we have this is an up-close version of a flying buttress. We have a buttress tied to a buttress, tied to a buttress over here that then connects to the building. Here is a good example of some flying buttresses. So here is this cathedral. Let's zoom in a little. And once again, we can see here that we have the building. This is the apse down here. And these supports, here's some buttresses, okay? and the buttress is supporting these uprights through here. And so the flying buttresses are those long connections that go from the building to the large buttress piece. Moving onward, we have, once again, these fan vaults. And you can see in the High Gothic period that we're trying to see how tall and how ornate we can get them, and how fine and fragile looking can the building be but still be supportive. And you can see here how, you know, these come together and they're almost not looking like fan vaults anymore. They almost start to resemble lacework with these wonderful pendants hanging down and the large stained glass window. It's really quite exquisite, and these spaces are just huge. All right, with that, we are at the end of this section on cathedrals. So I hope you enjoyed it and got a little more about cathedrals, and perhaps we can have some more slides later. So have a good day. Thank you very much.